The careless summers are over. The summers of A Summer Holiday, the Cliff Richard movie, are gone. And it's such a shame. The Greek newspapers are filled with stories of the Daniel weather system leaving a trail of destruction across the country. Thousands of people facing water devastation, facing floods, 1.5 meters of water. The focal point was the port city of Volos and the regions around that. Many cities, many villages in Pelion on the mountains, Melina, Kalamos, Agios Ioannis, Argalasti, huge damage, people cut off, rivers overflowing, turning into torrents, breaking into the wall, into the roads, slicing those roads in half, bridges collapsing, beaches filled with cars that have been washed onto the beach by the force of the water, and the heaviest rainfall ever has apparently fallen in Greece. Zagora alone has had more than 500 millimeters of rain in one day, when the annual rainfall in Athens is only 400 millimeters. I remember being in Athens when there were heavy rains, and they were sort of terrifying in their violence and severity. But this, imagine all this in just one day. The damage is frightening. There's so many questions about how this is happening. How can Greece fortify itself against the change in climate? So, people who turn around and say this isn't a change in climate, this is about arsonists. This is about an incredibly hot summer followed by torrential rain. This is the sort of thing that you would see in a tropical landscape. And in Pelion, the mountain that was beloved of the centaurs, it just became an evacuation exercise. The hospital in Volos flooded with water while people were evacuating from the hospital, from nearby buildings, using inflatable boats in the city centre, with water levels on the streets in Volos rising above a metre. The ring road flooded. Several people standing on their cars, looking for a place to escape the water. The Volos nursing home evacuated in the late afternoon because it was surrounded by water. One old wing completely collapsed. Tourists in villas, the villas collapsing into the waters. The villages around Pelion unable to communicate because trees, electricity pylons, all fallen, all broken, as the river has cascaded down from the mountains. And the Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis is in no doubt that it is climate change which is to blame. Although, no fire begins on its own. Fires just don't spontaneously start. Accident or intent causes a fire. But he also says that his government has not managed things as they would have liked, but he warns for the future. The careless summers as we knew them will cease to exist, and from now on, the coming summers are likely to be ever more difficult. I think he's not speaking not only for Greece, but also for Turkey and for the surrounding countries, for the south of Italy particularly, for Albania. All of these countries need to be very careful, because the summers can be aggressive, and if they're going to be more aggressive, more heat and more rain, know, the whole infrastructure needs to change to accommodate that change in climate.